Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great day. Speaking of great day, Satsu, how was your day?
Interesting. And it just got even more interesting because I opened my phone, and for some reason, the first thing that popped up on my phone is Akon is very seriously considering taking on Trump in the 2020 presidential election. And I'm like, huh? So today's just full of interesting shit.
Real quick, thank you, Yardcoon, for the donation, both of them. And Sir Wolfgang, thank you. Donations without the messages. I appreciate them so much.
It's gum money.
When it's three of them, that's ramen money, man.
No,
that's a 12-pack.
Oh, my God. You'll eat for a month.
I'm telling you. Scribbles, how's your day, man?
It was calm and low stress, even though I had a meeting and a bunch of other things to do. And then I came home, and I was just little Mary homemaker because I spent a lot of time cleaning my apartment. I've just gotten into this project of I'm going to do a spring cleaning of my apartment, get everything cleaned up, get everything washed and vacuumed and scrubbed, and collect all the clothes I don't need anymore and donate those. So when I visit with my sister on Friday, I can impress her and show her that I'm actually an adult, because I need to do that apparently.
There you go. And Sir Wolfgang, thank you again. Blondie says, I quit roaming millennial for this. I hope you're happy. I am. Look, I love roaming, but I'm far more interesting than she is. That's not nice. I've had a short day, guys. I went to bed this morning. I woke up at like 6:50, severely dehydrated because I had way too many blankets on. Oops. But yeah, I slept most of my goddamn day. And then I went onto Twitter, and somebody stopped me from doing that. Every time I do that, I'm like, oh, fuck, why? But it doesn't stop me for some damned reason. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, video games.
Well,
movies.
Wow.
I missed one. Let's try that again. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit the like button, guys. It shows YouTube that the people watching at least like what they're seeing. And share our stuff far wide, not just our stuff, any creators that you enjoy. Please show them support because YouTube doesn't do it very well. Anything else we need to talk about before we jump into what I am sure is a fun-filled news day?
Are you guys streaming tonight?
The belly button.
Oh. Are we still testing? Okay.
Well, so no, because I did some off-stream testing, and I did it with recording instead. And even recording is a pain in the ass for my computer, so it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
That's him.
Okay.
You're breaking up just a little bit there, bud. What he's saying is that it's a pain in the ass. The game, it just takes up too many resources and makes streaming impossible. So
yeah, it's not going to happen. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So no stream tonight. All righty. Scribbles, what do we have for news tonight?
Well, we have breaking news.
Oh, breaking.
A boy tells police he's Timothy Pitson, a child missing since 2011, and that he escaped his kidnappers.
Damn.
Cincinnati, Ohio. The FBI and local authorities are working to verify a boy's claim that he's a child who went missing in 2011, and he just escaped from a pair of kidnappers when he encountered police Wednesday morning. The boy told Campbell County, Kentucky authorities that he is 14-year-old Timothy Pitson and that two kidnappers had been holding him for 7 years, according to a Sharonville, Ohio police report. He told authorities that he escaped and kept running. Timothy Pitson is also the name of an Aurora, Illinois boy who has been missing since 2011. He was 6 at the time and would now be 14. An FBI spokesperson in Louisville said they're working with Newport Police, Cincinnati Police, and the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and Aurora, Illinois Police on a missing child investigation. The FBI has not confirmed a link to the Pitson case, and said they're conducting a DNA test to identify the child. Aurora Police said the DNA test will take about 24 hours. Several neighbors in Newport said they saw the boy and at first thought he was a suspicious person walking around near West 8th and Columbia Street at about 8 a.m. Wednesday until they saw bruising hidden by his hoodie and realized he appeared scared. They called the police. Yeah, so I hope it's true. I hope it's not some kind of hoax or something, because that would be amazing. But no, anyway.
How long has he been missing? Since 2011?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Hopefully he can be returned to his family.
Yeah, we've heard of stories where people have been kidnapped for far longer than that being eventually found. But yeah, so hopefully that's true for him, for the family, and hopefully for him as well. But that aside,
Can't even imagine, man.
Yeah, what was it? Was Elizabeth Smart, or there was some other case where somebody had been, or the three ladies? I think it was in Ohio, wasn't it? The Julia Castro.
Oh yeah, the ones that have been
for like a decade.
Yeah,
that's just completely insane.
Don't kidnap people.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that unless it's like some consensual fantasy or something. But even then, don't get caught. That's probably bad advice. Moving on to the title of the stream. The House Judiciary passes a resolution to authorize subpoenas for the full Mueller report.
Dun, dun, dun.
Was there any notion that they weren't going to release it?
Well, this is probably in your story, but Barr has come out and said he's going to release a redacted copy.
Okay.
And Nadler wants it all. He wants the full Mueller.
Yeah, okay. The House Judiciary Committee voted to authorize subpoenas for Special Counsel Robert Mueller's full report on his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election and any ties between the Russian government and the Trump campaign. The resolution passed Wednesday morning 24-17 on a party line vote, with Democrats voting in the majority. The committee will also subpoena all underlying documents related to Mueller's findings. After the vote, House Judiciary Chairman Representative Jerry Nadler, a New York Democrat, told reporters the subpoena would not go out immediately. Quote, "We are going to work with the Attorney General for a short period of time in the hopes that he will reveal to us the entire Mueller report and all the underlying materials," he said. Quote, "In very short order, we'll issue the subpoenas if that doesn't work out," unquote. If the Justice Department does not release the grand jury material, Nadler will ask a judge to release it. He also called upon Attorney General William Barr to testify before the May 2nd date Barr has proposed. In his opening statement, Nadler laid out the legal precedent for the claim on the documents, looking to the Watergate investigation into President Richard Nixon, the Starr report into President Bill Clinton, and the investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's emails. Interesting that you bring up those latter two there. Ranking member Doug Collins, a Georgia Republican, countered that asking Barr to release grand jury materials is illegal. He also accused the majority Democrats of trying to paint a picture of innuendo before the full report is released. And he said that the proper thing to do would be to see what Barr releases and then ask for more material if that's insufficient. Republican members on the committee also claimed the resolution was a continuing effort to undermine the Trump presidency, with some claiming Democrats were pursuing the subpoenas as an attack on the president. Quote, "As much as Democrats may hate the president, I would hope you love America more," said Colorado Republican Representative Ken Buck. He said that, quote, "If love trumps hate," unquote, Democrats should afford the Attorney General enough time to properly release the findings. Meanwhile, as Democrats continue to push for transparency, President Trump pushed back, calling out Nadler for opposing the release of independent counsel Ken Starr's report on the investigation of former President Clinton. Yeah, that's why I was curious as to why Nadler would bring up the Starr report. Quote, "With the no collusion Mueller report, which the Dems hate, he wants it all. Nothing will ever satisfy them," tweeted Mr. Trump on Tuesday. So there you go.
Is that where it ends? Because Nadler has answered back, and he said that he was just against releasing the report publicly, but that the Starr report had already been released to Congress in full. So that's his excuse for it. I don't know if that's true. I haven't dug into it, and it's been so long since I followed the Starr report. Maybe. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. If he ever specified which Mueller report, they could just give him a book report on Treasure Island that Mueller wrote when he was in school. Look, I'm for the release of all of it. I've said that. And I'm for the public release of it, guys. Send it all out there. I don't give a fuck. We paid for it. This motherfucker was doing it for 2 years. Let's see what they actually found. But yeah, it's at the political circus stage. What'll happen is he said he's going to wait to issue the subpoena to see what Barr actually sends forward, which it was a dick move to begin with, because Barr said he would release it by the middle of April, if not sooner. And Nadler's like, no, we want it now. It's political bullshit. If he doesn't get the report that he wants, then he'll actually enforce the subpoena, at which point this is going to go to a judge, and we'll see what happens from there. Again, just release it all. Fuck it. Let's see what it says.
The only thing I wouldn't argue with being redacted is if it's names of people who were eventually found to have nothing to do with anything.
Sure.
They're part of the investigation, but they were found to have. I mean, they were just interviewed or just whatever, so as not implicate them in anything by simple inclusion. That's the only thing I wouldn't argue with redacting.
Well, that's something that
we paid for it. Release it all.
Yeah, he is arguing about that. He wants everything, which several people have pointed out. It's illegal, actually, to release grand jury information. So one of the Republicans on the committee actually said, look, you are asking for a criminal act here. It didn't stop him.
Well, so, you think the House Judiciary Committee should know anything about the law, monkey?
You would think they might have a clue.
Nah, clue. No.
And again, with the Ken Starr investigation, I guarantee you that was done before Congress got the report, because it's the fucking law. But yeah, like I said, we'll see. This is headed to a judge either way, because they're not going to like Barr's report no matter what, because it won't be enough. It won't. So yeah, it'll go to judge. We'll see what happens from there.
All right. Let's see. How about the latest in Brexit?
Oh, please.
Breakfast. Oh, damn it. You keep kidding me with that.
Brexit for champions.
No deal Brexit outlawed as Theresa May faces fury from her own side. Okay. UK lawmakers have finally agreed on something related to Brexit. By the narrowest of margins, the House of Commons voted in favor of legislation which forces the UK government to request another extension to the Brexit process. The bill, which passed by 313 to 312, seeks to prevent Prime Minister Theresa May yanking the UK out of the European Union without an agreed deal. It came as the May's Conservative Party, the Mays. How about the May? Anyway, whatever. As the May's Conservative Party descended into civil war over her strategy. 2 ministers resigned from May's government in protest at her efforts to seek a compromise with the opposition leader, Jeremy Corbyn. One of her most senior ministers warned that a long extension to the Brexit process was inevitable. Senior figures in both main parties raised the prospect of a second referendum to obtain the British public's backing for any deal and to offer the choice of remaining in the EU, which you already did and they already voted, and you guys are trying to subvert the democratic process.
Real quick, let me get this super chat. Snubber, thank you. People will get harassed if they get the full. These Congress people need bitch slapped out of their hatred. You're not wrong. That's why, especially like the grand jury stuff, it's all hidden, especially if it's somebody who wasn't indicted.
Yeah, there's been stories of people who were just named as, tangentially related to the investigation, who have been harassed and or had their real life careers or other things affected as a result. So yeah, just anyway, we could go on. Yep.
How can they vote to not have a Brexit without a deal? If
they voted. Yeah, this is what it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, okay, it was either we're going to have a deal and Brexit, or we're going to have a no deal Brexit, just a clean cut. Now we've passed legislation that however we leave the EU, it will be with a deal, no matter what. If they can ever agree on a deal, I don't know how that operates, because at some point they got to leave. Unless they keep extending it, which I assume they're going to have to. It makes no sense to me. The people voted. It's done. The first deadline is already passed. You've pushed it for longer. It's done, guys. You need to stop.
Didn't the EU just give them the extension?
Yeah, but this, I guess, maybe adds to it. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, because this is from Parliament, right?
Well, let me read the rest of the article.
Sure. Okay.
Key developments. May held talks with the opposition Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn in an effort to find a way out of the Brexit impasse. 2 ministers resigned from May's government over her decision to court opposition votes for her Brexit deal. At the weekly session of Prime Minister's Questions in the House of Commons, May was assailed by hostile questions from her own side in a sign of the anger over the change to her Brexit strategy. Speaker John Bercow blocked a third round of votes on Brexit options after a vote to set aside another day of parliamentary time was tied. Chancellor Philip Hammond, a senior member of May's cabinet, said Parliament should vote on whether to hold a second referendum. Hi, caramba. This is just crazy.
At this point, if I'm the EU, I'm just like, fuck it, kick them out.
Nah, I think the EU's like just sitting back going like, let them tear themselves asunder until they beg us to just set aside everything, or they give us such a deal to get this over and done with that it's practically like they never left in the first place.
Well, that's what
are they
fighting against anyway.
Well, I may be misunderstanding this, but isn't the EU fighting to keep them from leaving without anything? Or is it the other way around? Okay, because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay. Because it seems like they're like, we don't want them to be totally independent. So we're going to, we don't want them to get what they want, but we also don't want them to be completely independent. So until we find a healthy middle ground, we'll just keep extending it.
Well, what the EU has done so far is offered what everybody's called EU light. It's still the same. The deal is like exactly like being in the EU.
Yeah, it's Brexit in name only, essentially.
So do you guys think that they know that, or they feel like they might be better off if they leave too, and they're trying to prevent that?
Well, I mean, the EU is afraid that if the UK leaves in a clean cut, and the UK is still able to rebuild themselves independently and thrive, that'll inspire other states to make the same decision. So they don't want the domino effect. If they can keep a leash on the EU, or on the UK with a deal that effectively keeps the EU holding them under some kind of control, then there's less of an incentive philosophically for a lot of the other countries to try to cut ties, because then they would be all by themselves. And of all the countries in the EU that could conceivably cut themselves off from the EU and still find their feet again, the UK is one of few that could conceivably. So yeah, there's a lot at stake if the EU tries to leave without a deal. But now apparently they can't leave without a deal, which means the EU pretty much wins no matter what happens here.
Yeah, they're going to win no matter what, because I thought, that's what I was confused about. I'm like, I thought that was a part of the deal. It was either a deal or no deal.
The other problem is if England breaks away, if the UK breaks away, that's a lot of money the EU loses. Britain, I think, is third or fourth when it comes to the amount of money that goes into the EU. So that is a big shock if that comes away. So they're really not hoping that the UK leaves.
Yeah. Well, let's see. How about what do I want to do? How about some more Trump Democrat news?
Sure.
Key House Democrat requests Trump's tax returns from the IRS. They're still dying to have these things. House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal has formally requested President Donald Trump's tax returns from the Internal Revenue Service, likely launching a battle with the administration that could stretch months or even years in the courts and could shed light on the president's finances. or be a complete waste of time, which I think is probably the case. In a letter to the IRS sent Wednesday and first obtained by CNN, Neal cites a little-known IRS code in his request for 6 years of Trump's personal tax returns from 2013 to 2018. He also requested the tax returns of 8 of Trump's business entities, a nod to escalating pressure from liberals in the caucus who have argued that Trump's personal returns wouldn't sufficiently paint a picture of the president's financial history. Trump said late Wednesday that he wouldn't be inclined to provide his tax returns to Congress until he was no longer under audit. Except I don't think he's actually under audit. He's been saying that for a while, but I think the IRS has confirmed he's not under audit. Asked about the request for 6 years of his tax returns, Trump asked, quote, "Is that all? Oh, usually it's 10, so I guess they're giving up," unquote. Quote, "Now we're under audit despite what people said. We're working that out as I'm always under audit, it seems. But I've been under audit because the numbers are big, and I guess when you have a name, you're audited. But until such time as I'm not under audit, I would not be inclined to do that," he added. I thought they announced from the IRS that he's not under audit. So I don't know. Anyway, it's probably a non-starter because, like they said, it'll go into the courts and be sitting there for the next 3 or 4 years. So
yeah,
and if he doesn't win the next election, nobody's going to give a shit anyway.
There is that law that lets the Congress pull anybody's tax return. But if they do that to the president like this, if any of that shit leaks, somebody's going to go to prison because there's no reason to do it other than we want to see it. And they're demanding Bernie's tax returns too. It's like I honestly don't give a shit personally. I couldn't care less, unless you have some evidence that there was a crime was committed or something. And we already have mechanisms to do that. So. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's just been something that's been done since, I want to say Carter was the one who started this shit for a presidential candidate. It is not required. And at any time, Congress could have required it. And it's just not. So, Connor, thank you so much. So Tim Burton's Batman is coming to 4K Blu-ray this June. It's 30th anniversary. That's great news to me.
God, 30 years. Fuck.
Yeah, we're old, man.
Damn it. 1989. I remember that too. I had a copy of Nintendo Power that was talking about the Batman game coming out in relation to the Batman movie. And that Batman, NES Batman is still good. Have you ever played that? That game was great. Anyway, 30 fucking years. I probably wouldn't want to see it on 4K Blu-ray because some of those effects have not aged well. If you see them in crisp digital clarity, it probably doesn't look that great. Just
get it on regular Blu-ray. It's fine.
Oh, did you see the preview for the new Joker movie?
No, I haven't.
It doesn't tell you much of anything about the plot, but
is this the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah. Okay. So only seeing the bits and pieces in the trailer, it looks like an indie film. It's like it's shot like an indie film, but there are nods to sort of. I understand that. I think it's being produced by Francis Ford Coppola. I think, or was it Coppola, or was it? Oh shit, maybe I'm misremembering. But anyway, there's lots of nods visually and aesthetically to like 70s. Films. I kept thinking of like Taxi Driver as I was watching the preview because there's something about the aesthetic. It's set sort of in a quasi 70s era. So I'm wondering how much of that is going to be in the film. But it looks like a really dark character study more than it looks like a supervillain movie. But I guess we'll see.
Despinato,
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Despinato, thank you so much for the donation with no message there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Satsu.
Martin Scorsese, sorry.
Oh, no.
I think it was Francis Ford Coppola. It was Martin Scorsese. That's what I was thinking. But so anyway, that's a side thing. Sorry.
For the second one as well, Despinato.
So everybody's catching on to these these little freebies, huh?
And I'm enjoying every one of them.
How about an update on our college admissions scandal?
Oh, please, yes.
Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman appear in court appear in court to face college admissions charges. Actresses Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman were among a dozen people who appeared Wednesday in federal court in Boston as part of the college admissions scam. The defendants are each charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud in a scheme that prosecutors have called, quote, Operation Varsity Blues. Authorities say the parents paid a college prep business to cheat on standardized tests and or bribe college coaches to help their children get into competitive universities. Huffman arrived at federal court just before noon. Loughlin and her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, arrived in the early afternoon ahead of the 2:30 p.m. hearing. I guess William H. Macy didn't know.
Yeah, see, that seems to be the...
Yeah. In court, they acknowledged their rights, charges, and maximum possible penalties. They waived a pretrial hearing, signed conditions for their release, and were free to leave. Huffman's husband, actor William H. Macy, is not charged in the case. CNN has reached out to representatives for Huffman, Loughlin, and Giannulli, but has not heard back. There was a video, I forget who put it together. They found some of the vlog footage from Loughlin's daughter. And how she made comments about getting ready to go to college and not really giving a shit and just being so like passe about it. And in context of, how she was basically bought into it. It was interesting because it's implicated that she knew that she was being paid to get in, Well,
oh yeah, I did see that video.
She couldn't have not known. Dad, why are you taking pictures of me on a rowing machine?
Oh yeah, right. Mm-hmm. That too.
And other than that, she doesn't seem to have even wanted to have been there. Now, I haven't heard anything really about Huffman's daughter, or her. It was a daughter, I think. I can't remember. But Loughlin's daughter, Loughlin, however you say her damn name, for everything we've seen, she was just there to party. Yeah, that was just, no one just said that. She was just there to party. When the news got to her, she was on the yacht of one of the uppity ups at the college, partying. Yep. She doesn't even want to fucking be there. It's just to look good on paper, for fuck's sake.
Well, that and the fact that she mentioned how, basically she implied that there'd be good material for her vlog.
Yeah.
So, yippee skippy.
Because she's an influencer.
Oh, the influencer thing. Did you hear it? So,
she's an influencer.
Well, while we got a couple of minutes, let me find that story about the influencer. Let's see if I can do this without New York Times killing my access. They probably will. Of course they will. So hold on. Let me try to get around that because, 2019. No, not that. God dang it. I want the... No! Hold on. I swear to God, I will find it. Just give me a second.
Sure. While you're doing that.
Yeah, read a comment or something while I find it here.
Sean says the reason those schools are so expensive is that you're paying for the contacts you get there, not the education. You're mostly right. Yeah. And not just the contacts, it's having that name on that diploma. Yeah. Because even if it's not the contact you make, I mean, another alumni, oh, you graduated there? I graduated there in 85. Cool. Let's work together.
Yeah. It's scholastic nepotism.
Yep.
So this comes from the New York Times today. No, your Instagram influence is not as good as cash, club owner says.
Do we have another one of these?
Huh?
I said, do we have another one of these?
Another one of what?
Where an influencer's like, I'm an influencer. Can you give me stuff?
Did we talk about one before?
Well, we read this story and then I'll tell you the other one.
Okay. A man who runs a beach club in the Philippines took a stand against, quote, wannabe freeloaders, unquote. A small business owner on an island in the Philippines has become a local hero for pushing back at the growing number of international travelers who introduce themselves as influencers as a way to get free food, drinks, and lodging. He made his stand on Siargao, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, a teardrop-shaped island long popular with surfers. In recent years, it has also drawn a large number of travelers who believe that their vacation should be free so long as they make Instagram stories, according to several local business owners. Last week, Gianluca Casacca 40, the manager and co-owner of the White Banana Beach Club, decided it was time to take action after opening his inbox and finding yet another message containing the phrase, "I am an influencer." Since May, when Mr. Casacchia, who is Italian, I know I'm fucking up that name, and his wife, who is from Manila, opened their cocktail bar overlooking the turquoise Philippine Sea, they have received about 100 of these messages, he said. Along with a bar, the venue has a restaurant and 2 luxury dorms for around $23 a bed. The typical email from a wannabe influencer is something like, quote, "I'm coming from the 25th to the 27th. We need 3 beds and food and accommodation. In exchange, the traveler offers content instead of money." Quote, "We found this disrespectful," he said in an interview Monday night. It didn't help that often the influencers had fewer than 2,000 Instagram followers. Quote, "How can you help me if you are no one?" he asked.
Fuck.
And so on March 26th, he posted the following on Facebook. Quote, "We are receiving many messages regarding collaborations with influencers, Instagram influencers. We kindly would like to announce that White Banana is not interested to collaborate with self-proclaimed influencers, and we would like to suggest to try another way to eat, drink, or sleep for free, or try to actually work."
Nice.
He was
Real
not.
quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Darkshade, thank you. My condolences, Borderland Bros. We'll get to that later. We will.
Yeah. He was not aiming to go viral, he said. Quote, I just did it to make these people stop. But within a week, he had racked up more than 11,000 likes, 3,000 shares, and nearly 700 comments, and had generated a feisty debate about the value of influence. Many applauded his attack on the overly entitled New Age beggars, as one commenter called them. But others defended the entrepreneurial travelers.
Fuck.
Entrepreneurial travelers, you say?
Give me free shit.
Yeah, what's wrong with trying to see what you can get? So asked Jovelyn Mateo, a travel blogger from Manila, on the White Banana Beach Club Facebook page. Quote,
what he just said, what's wrong with seeing what you can get? Not what I can do for you, what I can get. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Quote, "If you know that you have something to offer on the table, it's never a bad thing to try," she wrote. And didn't the island owe its popularity in part to breathtaking and well-curated Instagram photos? That's what Lance de Ocampo, a Filipino blogger and YouTuber, asked his nearly 49,000 Instagram followers in a now-deleted post. In response, Mr. Casacchia offered a clarification on his Facebook page. Quote, "White Banana Beach Club was not against real influencers. He had even reached out to some of these in the past. Asked to put a number on legitimate social influence, he put the number at 500,000 followers," unquote. The people who bothered him were the, quote, "wannabe freeloaders," he said. Some of his critics called that snobby and arbitrary and pointed out that he used his viral fame to point people to the club's Instagram account. You mean he was using his influence?
Okay.
Anyway.
One, Nike is not out there advertising on public access television. You know why? Because very few people are watching it. What you're talking about here, if you are trading influence for goods and services, is somebody who's actually going to do something for your brand. The one I was thinking of, Scribe, is Ellie Darby. Do you remember her? She's the one who wrote, God, what's the name of that bar? They've done this with a few people. There's a bar in a hotel, and she's like, "I would like to come stay there for free." And he's like, "Why don't you come stay here for money?"
Yeah.
And he posted her letter on, I think it was on Twitter, might have been on Facebook, and it just blew up to the point where she did a video crying about how horrible it was that he would call her out like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a great video, man. It was awesome. The fake tears in that video were amazing.
Just to put things into perspective, I tried to apply for a what is it, a sponsorship or whatever on Amazon to get like a sponsorship account, so they can. The first thing they ask you is how many subscribers do you have? Yep. That is literally the first thing on there. And if it's any less than a certain amount, then they're just like, no.
Well, they're not wrong to do so.
I know.
Yeah, they're not wrong to do so. I mean, I've been mentioning Dr. Pepper in tweets for months, and they haven't offered me any kind of sponsorship yet, even though I drink their product to the point where I'm going to get diabetes and my teeth are going to rot out.
You know, I have used the term, I'm a YouTuber with over 20,000 followers, but I've only ever done it to my internet company to try to get them to get better internet out here.
Ah, okay.
It's like, I could do a lot more if you motherfuckers would, help me out.
You see,
It's never been
sorry.
to get free shit.
Now maybe this is just me, but saying I'm an Instagram influencer, to my mind, would not be a point of pride. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you've leveraged that into starting an actual business or doing something else on top of it, maybe. But by itself, as its own thing, like as much as I appreciate all the support I've been getting doing YouTube, I still look at it as a hobby. And I understand there are people who make this a career, and I do not begrudge them for doing so.
It's my job, yo.
Yeah, if you actually make it your job and everything else, I've got complete respect, because I know just from my little dabbling in it how much work it is just to have like a hobby YouTube channel. But at the same time, like, yeah, unless you've somehow leveraged that into something more than just, I've got a lot of people looking at my pictures, I really don't understand how that's something to brag about.
Dark Shade, thank you so much. So Monkey is the biggest influencer here. If you go by numbers, sure.
Yeah. And Sinatra more so.
Sinatra's around, and I'm minuscule by that mark.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only time I've used it is like, look, guys, I need better internet to try to, because I would really love for the people who watch our games to be able to see both mine and Satsu's perspectives. I can't do that until they get me better fucking internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only time I can't imagine walking up to somebody going, look, I'm on YouTube. I have a decent sized following. Why don't you give me some free shit and I'll tell them about it.
Could I use that as a pickup line at this point, do you think?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on what kind of bar you go to, I guess.
Anyway, that's all the stories I had.
I just influencers suck me. And you know what? For the record, I mean, we've had influencers for a long time, athletes who do commercials, stuff like that. I mean, they're just influencers, but at least they did something. At least they did something, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And I did just see on DeFranco, somebody just brought up DeFranco. DeFranco brought up or had a story today on Jeffree Star, who by all means, yeah, absolutely is an influencer. But you know what else he is? He's an entrepreneur. This man has a multi-million-dollar makeup business, which got robbed. Oops. But at least he's done something. He's translated that into something tangible, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
And good for him for doing so. But anyway, yeah, guys, that's going to do it for the news. Now we're going to move on to the MSS news. If there's a story you'd like to see on the broadcast, hit us up at #MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because we don't have enough influence. Scribe?
Yeah, that's what it is. You got super chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Chicago Mike. I watch a lot of YouTube. Can you please give me free shit or free stuff is what he said.
Sure. I give you free content. You don't have to pay me to watch the videos I make.
There you go.
Free entertainment.
I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I should. No, actually, I'll save that for internet fucketry. Never mind. I was going to say something smart ass, but I'll wait. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. The Simpsons showrunner teases Lisa's sexuality and could become a polyamorous president. I'm not sure I even care to read this story because it's all about stuff that doesn't actually exist. But the Simpsons showrunner, Al Jean, sounds like either algae or hygiene, has high hopes for Lisa in her future and has backed up the suggestion she could become the first polyamorous bisexual president. Here's a spoiler alert. She can't. She's not real. Despite being stuck aged 8 for the past 30 years, smart aleck Lisa Simpson is clearly wise beyond her years. She's not real. And thanks to the magic of flash forwards and dream sequences, we've been given glimpses as to who she could become as an adult. She can't. She's not real. Speaking exclusively to Metro UK, Al said, quote, I see Lisa as president and possibly polyamorous, and Bart enjoying life as he did at the end of the Barthood episode. I don't even know what that was. While he didn't mention what he thought the future held for Maggie, he added, quote, Homer and Marge are ecstatic that everything turned out okay. They're not real. Right? You guys, it's fake.
Read the next line, though.
On top of this, Al also confirmed that the team were looking to bring more diversity to the show, including more LGBT characters.
Which I would not have a problem with, as long as it stays The Simpsons, to where they are nothing but fucking stereotypes.
Not quote. It's already previously been suggested, yes, by fan theories the world over that Lisa could be part of the LGBT community despite her young age.
Really? Like when she fell in love with Colin during the movie?
Or the fact that she's currently 8 years old and you want to talk about her sexual activities. Okay, everybody get a life, honestly.
Cryptic, thank you. Simpsons was good before 5 and died after season 8. There's some good episodes after that. I mean, there really are. It's just ever since the Apu thing, man.
And they even made fun of that in their own show. They made fun of the controversy, and then they'd like back down with
and then caved.
Yeah, completely caved. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Speaking of sexual things I don't want to think about, James Corden on the lack of romance and sex scenes for plus-sized people.
Who wants to see? Okay, real quick, Dark Shade, thank you. If they try to make Lisa the most insufferable, are they trying to make Lisa the most insufferable character ever? Vegan and now this, yeah.
I mean, if they play it up as the biggest stereotype of that kind of person, but they probably won't after the Apu thing. So, as the conversation around diversity and inclusivity continues in Hollywood, people are okay, Mary Sue, I don't know if you meant to do this, but I'm going to read it as it's written. People are expanding the definitions and boundaries, not only who gets represented, but the forms that representation takes. James Corden spoke about being a chubby person in entertainment during an interview on David Tennant's podcast. He said, quote, if you only watch television or films, what about porn, James? If an alien came back and they had to take a reading on planet Earth by just watching films or TV, they would imagine that if you are chubby or fat or big, you never really fall in love. You never have sex.
Oh, God.
Body diversity has become a hot topic as audiences are eager to see themselves reflected on screen. No, they're not. They're really not.
They're eager to see somebody else.
Is that him or is that me?
Yeah, Satsu, you're breaking up, man.
That was me.
Okay.
They're eager to see somebody else on screen, not them. They're not going to see themselves on screen because they are not actors or actresses. They're eager to see some other fat fuck on screen. I hate when people say they want to see themselves on screen. Like, what are they watching, a mirror? No, they're watching TV. It's not them they're seeing. Some other fat fuck.
Yeah. What you see on screen that can be reflected is perhaps character traits or situations or something you can empathize with. You're not going to see you. If you want to see you on screen, go make your own movie like Neil Breen, Eyes on Breen. Sorry.
Dark Shade, thank you, because Shallow Hal was such a money printer.
Yeah, no shit. Statistics show that 68% of American women wear a size 14 or above, and none of them want to see a giant fat man having sex on screen. No, I made that up. 14 or above, a number that is not at all reflected in the pop culture we consume. Did you watch Girls at all? They did that all the time, and they're doing it more. They've got TV show after TV show where you have a quote-unquote normal-sized woman as a love object or something. And it's not just a diversity issue. It's also an economic one. Plus size clothing sales made over $21 billion in 2016 alone. You know, that should tell you something more about the state of our general bodily health than it should be something to brag about. But what do I know? Anyway, moving on. This one comes from Chicago Mike.
Real quick. Hey, dude says, do I just at you guys if I want to see? No. On Twitter, it's hashtag MSS News and then attach the article to that.
Yep. That'll get to us.
Don't at us directly.
Yeah. That'll get lost. Will standing up airplane seats take off?
Oh, God, I see the picture. No. I rode a roller coaster with one of those, a stand-up roller coaster with seats like that. No.
A company is trying to convince airlines to allow people to have as much legroom as possible. The catch? The seats are upright, so people would basically be standing during the entirety of their flights. It's the airline version of the strap hangers you see on commuter trains. The seat is called the Skyrider 3.0, and it was created by the Italian seat manufacturer Avio Interiors. There was previously a Skyrider 2.0 that was unveiled at the Aircraft Interiors Expo 2018 in Hamburg, Germany. It looks a little like a bike seat and allows a flyer to remain vertical for the entire flight and, of course, save money. According to a report, the original version was created to, quote, help airlines squeeze in more passengers by allowing an ultra-high density and reducing the space between rows. So far, no airlines are lining up to install them. Yeah, because wouldn't the extra weight and the fuel needed to fly the plane offset the savings?
Oh, it depends. I mean, I don't know how much fuel it takes to fly somebody. But Peter said standing seats, isn't that an oxymoron? It sounds like one, yes. But it's basically a bicycle seat.
Mm-hmm.
And you do stand on it, but I don't know how it is with these. With the roller coaster, because so many different size people ride it, the seat went up and down, right? And it locks in place when you first get on. Well, if you move it all and like try to adjust your nuts on that seat and raise even slightly, the seat will come up. So I actually rode the whole thing with my nuts being squished on this fucking seat, and I can't imagine that on an airline. Fuck that, no. Who wants to fly from Miami to Los Angeles standing up? Exactly. Exactly.
Let's see. We talked about that one. The grandmother giving birth to her own grandson.
Yes.
Let's see. We talked about that one the other day too. This one comes from The Reaper. New Zealand town celebrates annual running of the sheep.
What'd they do? Wave a condom and the sheep started running?
Yeah. A New Zealand town celebrated its annual festival with a running of the sheep event featuring hundreds of sheep running through the streets. I'm going to mispronounce this, Tai Kuti Volunteer Fire Brigade shared video on Facebook showing the sheep running through the streets of the city, which is known as the shearing capital of the world. The Saturday run was part of the Great New Zealand Muster, an annual event that also includes the New Zealand Shearing Championships. All right. That's a lot of sheep.
That's a lot of sheep.
A lot of sheep dip all over the place, too. Let's see. We talked about that one the other day. This one comes from New Fate 26. A terrible, terrible thing. I can't read this story because they want me to pay money.
Wait, Business Insiders switched to that too?
Yep.
Dicks.
Yeah. So I will attempt to get around it, but I don't know if I can. No.
I can pull it up if you want me to just read it.
Hold on. What, you paid for it?
No, I haven't been on this site in fucking forever. So
then go for it.
NASA is calling India's destruction of a satellite last week a terrible, terrible thing, and says the space debris created by the explosion should be considered a threat to the International Space Station and astronauts on board. India intentionally destroyed one of its satellites with a missile last week, a move Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed as one that established India as a space power. You blew up your own satellite with a missile, and that makes you a space power. Okay.
Space power!
But NASA's administrator, Jim Bridenstine, told employees on Monday that it posed an unacceptable threat to astronauts on board the ISS. He said that the satellite shattered into pieces, many of them large enough to pose a danger to the space station, but not large enough to track. It is unclear how many pieces the debris created. If we are what we are tracking right now, objects big enough to track, we're talking about 10 centimeters or bigger. About 60 pieces have been tracked, he said. He said 24 of those pieces were traveling above the ISS, even though the satellite had been orbiting 185 miles above Earth, lower than the station, which orbits roughly 250 miles above Earth. Yeah, so they blew up this and sent debris all over space. Good job, jackasses.
Let's see. I'll do one or two more, I guess. Excuse me. Let's see. This one comes from the Pissed Off Shih Tzu. Harris County judge accidentally resigns. How do you accidentally resign?
Oops.
Democrat Bill McLeod shared plans to run for the Supreme Court of Texas. Then he learned part of the Texas Constitution considers his words worthy of resignation. Oh, some antiquated law. Less than 3 months on the job, one of Harris County's new judges resigned without knowing it. Democrat Bill McLeod shared plans to run for the Supreme Court of Texas. Then he learned part of the Texas Constitution. Right, yeah. County Attorney Vince Ryan's office will present the matter to county commissioners during next Monday's meeting. Judge McLeod is rallying supporters to show up to help his cause. Are you going to tell us what it's all about? After taking over Harris County Civil Court at Law Number 4 and clearing 1,400 cases, McLeod posted online future plans to run for state Supreme Court. Then someone showed him Article 16, Section 65 of the Constitution, which for judges of county courts at law considers any officer announcing candidacy for another office an automatic resignation.
Oh, ouch.
However, the Constitution also allows county commissioners, given charge over appointing replacements, authority to keep McLeod as a holdover until there is a special election, according to KHOU 11 News legal analyst Gerald Treese. Quote, "I think that's a perfectly legal option and commissioners should take it," Cohen said. Concerned about ethics violations, Judge McLeod declined to be interviewed. However, supporters Candace Weber and Cohen are part of a social media push seen by more than 2,400 people to crowd the next county commission meeting with McLeod backers to sway the court's opinion. Quote, "Our judges are human," Weber said. "This would not be the first time that a judge has made a mistake. I would beg the court to leave him where he is. This is where Houstonians want him. This is where Harris County wants him, and we made that very loud and clear at the ballot." That is a kooky law, but I can kind of understand it.
Real quick, Cryptic, thank you so much. They need to stick to making curry, talking about the Indians blowing up their satellite. I kind of understand the law and where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But an automatic resignation,
yeah.
I think the law should actually be to hold okay, this is your resignation, but you're held in place. This kicks off a special election. Because, I mean, especially with him announcing that he's planning on going to the Supreme Court, I mean, there's a chance his case may come up against the Supreme Court at some time, which of course he'd recuse himself from. But, dude, you were just elected to this office. Why the fuck are you looking ahead? How long ago was he elected?
Just what, three months ago?
3 months ago.
Yeah, he's been on the job 3 months. Yeah.
Ragnar, thank you. You got to do your current job first before trying to push to the next level. Exactly. And I mean, look, dude, you fucked up, but yeah, I hope they let him stay on there till they have the special election, because otherwise, I mean, you're just backing up the court system over an idiot.
Yeah.
That's funny though. Let's try to get one more in here.
My voice is leaving me, so I'll leave it.
Sure. Let me see what we got over here. What is this? Senate Democrats interested to introduce a constitutional amendment to abolish the Electoral College. Of course they did. A number of Senate Democrats are ready to follow through on an idea that some 2020 candidates and a good chunk of Americans support abolishing the Electoral College. This week, Senators Brian Schatz, Dick Durbin, Dianne Feinstein, and Kirsten Gillibrand introduced a constitutional amendment that would abolish the Electoral College. It's not going to go anywhere because it'd have to pass the Senate, and that is controlled by the Republicans. So good job, guys. Ragnock, thank you so much. This is to stop political judges. Yeah, like I said, I understand where that law was coming from. I absolutely do. It's just the immediacy of it that I think is a problem. I mean, that's your immediate resignation, and that just leaves an empty spot on the bench that was literally just filled 3 months ago. So, But again, why is he looking for the Senate or to the Supreme Court when he's only been a judge for 3 months? Calm down there, homie.
He's ambitious and stupid.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. So, guys, that's going to wrap up MSS News. Thank you so much for the submissions. We appreciate it more than we can say, and we can't get to all your stories just because you guys send us so many, and that's a wonderful problem to have. That brings us on to YouTube time. Sorry, guys. A little yawn there. I tried not to let you hear it, but then I unmuted to tell you I was yawning. Satsu, what'd you do on the YouTubes today?
Well, I uploaded a video that I did not plan to do, but I'm actually getting into the habit of literally, if I'm cooking something, I'm going to record it just so I can upload it because there's kind of no reason not to, and I want to get into just get into the habit of getting these videos out. So for breakfast this morning, I made me an omelet grilled cheese. And it was a really short video. Doesn't take all that much to make. It's a grilled cheese. It's not that difficult. But I just kind of went through the process and uploaded it or whatever because it was fairly straightforward. My other video will be coming out soon. The ham and bean soup that I made. And then me and Squishy went to the store today and bought some stuff for the meatloaf that I'm going to make soon. And I bought a rack of ribs because I wanted to do some oven-baked pork ribs because I like making those, and I haven't made those in a while. And Squishy she basically fucking slam dunked it into the cart, like, make it, because it's been a while. So I'm excited about that. And then I was looking at some of the other videos that I did on my previous channel. Those are kind of dated, so I wanted to do an updated version of those. So I'll be working down my list to get to those at some point too. So I've been kind of busy. I did record a vlog and it's done and edited, but I don't know if I want to upload it because I don't like it.
Okay then.
But we will see. So that's kind of the stuff that I've been working on.
Cool. And I did my monkey in the morning. We had a fun one last night. We started off with people that we like, and both of you guys came up from all of us who were talking.
Yay.
I told people I'll tell you to your faces. I'll tell you to your face. Satsu, I've always liked you because you always seem to come from things from a way I didn't think of. You have a way of just like coming from left field with your questions about what's going on, and I love it because it challenges me to think. And Scribe, you are the most sarcastic motherfucker on the internet in your videos, and I fucking love it. And I said this last night. I wish the people that you talk about in your videos were standing in front of you as you did it. Because they desperately need somebody to talk to them like that, to repeat what they just said in a way that lets them understand that what you just said was fucking stupid. It's like, got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we did last night. Tonight we'll probably get back to a more political one, especially with all the Mueller crap going on. And Scribbles, what'd you work on?
Truth be told, I didn't really work on anything today. As soon as I got home from work, I was doing cleaning stuff and had to deal with some other personal matters, but I got all that squared away. But by the time I was done with all that, I was kind of like, there's an hour till the show and I'm hungry. So I had food. Yeah. I'm in one of those lull moments, and not LOL, but LUL, where everything I'm coming across as far as things that I might otherwise do projects on, I'm kind of like, I've done 12 videos on this subject or something, you know? It's like, I don't know if I have anything more to say on this right now, because I don't want to do a video just to do a video. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. That's about as good as I can give you.
Cool.
Real quick, guys, if you want to get a sneak peek of the stuff that I'm going to be making, what I've decided to do is I'll post a photo of it first over on Discord so you guys can get a good look at what it is I'm going to make, and you'll know what order the videos are coming in. So if you're not on my Discord, I'll drop the link for you guys. Join the Discord if you're interested in my cooking videos, because this is kind of going to be the area where you can get like sneak peeks of stuff that I'm doing early.
Fair enough. That brings us to the internet fucketry. Satsu, you been on Facebook today? What'd you see?
Nothing really. I did see there was an article. God damn it! What was I'm trying to remember the title. It had the title of the article was an easy mode never ruined a video game. And it was basically a response to the response of when the dude was saying, like, you know, this game doesn't need an easy mode. And other dude's like, it does need an easy mode. And somebody came along and said, well, you should put it in there anyway, regardless, because it won't ruin the game. And to a certain degree, I get that argument, but they are literally talking about ripping the heart out of certain game franchises just for the sake of making somebody who is not the audience happy. And I don't like that idea, because there are different genres for a reason. There are different types of games for a reason. There's puzzle games, adventure games, horror games, all kinds of games, RPGs. And for a person who plays shooters to come over to an RPG and say, this needs to be more like the shooters that I play, that are made for me, so that way I can enjoy them too. And it's like, no. Why? You don't like RPGs. You like shooters. Yeah, but I'd like to enjoy them too. So if they make them more like Call of Duty, they'll be fun for me. I don't care. Get over it. It's not for you. I'm sorry. Just like, you know, if a horror movie comes out, you can't say, you know, I really want to see this movie, but I don't like horror movies. Could you make it a comedy? And they're like, no, that's not what the fuck it is. I didn't make this movie for people who like comedies. I made a horror movie. And that's the fuck it is. So I understand the argument when it comes to reaching the largest demographic you can. You know what I mean? Getting your game out to as many people as possible and allowing as many people to experience it. As you know, that's not a bad notion per se. But no. Or else what's the fucking point of having genres? What's the point of having having there be differences in all these games? If you just want them all to be the same, then there's no reason for, you know, we might as well just make one universal game company and they all make the same shit.
I don't necessarily have a problem with an easy mode, because I'm not going to play it. I've never played an easy mode in my life. I don't like the idea of doing it just so people can experience the game. I hate that fucking argument.
Yeah, well, it makes no sense in the age of YouTube when you can go to YouTube and just watch somebody play it.
Remember when games didn't have difficulty settings? It was like, this is Super Mario Brothers. Live with it. You know, this is fucking Contra. Live with it. Bullshit like, oh, we gotta have it. No. You know what made TIE Fighter so great? Such a great game. It was fucking difficult. And if you got through it, you were a goddamn ace. And it was something to be proud of. It wasn't a walkthrough. It wasn't a theme park. There was actually something to be said if you said, I got through Ninja Gaiden all the way in one sitting, you know, no continues, no extra lives or nothing. That meant something at one time. Now everybody's like, oh, but I need it to be easier. It's like, okay, fine. Watch it. Yeah, like I say, watch somebody play it. I do that all the time. Games that I know that I'll never buy or something, but I'm kind of interested to see how it's done. Sure,
sure.
I'll watch that. Or, a game that I've played that I want to see somebody like a speed run or something. Like I watched this guy do a speed run of Jedi Academy. And having played through that game so many fucking times, watching this guy like skip through whole sections of a level by jumping over this one thing through a trick, that impresses me. But other than that, just grow up. Some games are tough and they're meant to be tough and they're famous for being tough. Dark Souls being one of them. Like, I don't even want to go near Dark Souls because I don't need the stress.
Peter says a lot of games had an easy, medium, and hard mode. There have always been games that have had that, but not every game needs that. And frankly, I've always looked at those as the easy mode doesn't exist, and I want to try hard to see how well I can do at it. When we play on the stream, we always play the medium mode just because we're not trying to be the best ever. We're just trying to play the game. But when it comes to what I'm playing myself, man, I always go for hard modes because I want to play it on hard.
Well, like I said, I get the argument of, just reaching a bigger audience. Like I totally understand that. The part that pisses me off whenever I read these articles though is they treat us like we're bad people because we want the game to be difficult. Like the fact that like they talk about the kind of badge of honor you get when you beat a game like Dark Souls. And they call it like some exclusive club for assholes who don't want other people to experience stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it is a sense of accomplishment.
They want you just to experience it the way they did and not be a bitch about it.
Exactly. Like, and nothing's worse than like a person who's like, yeah, I beat Dark Souls. Took me a long time. I kept dying and I tried and I failed at it. And dude's like, yeah, I was on PC. I put on mods and had infinite health and I just walked through it. I beat it too. And you're like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You didn't. I did. I saw the end credits. It's like but you didn't though.
Yeah.
But we get treated like assholes for that because they're like, well, fuck you. Well, you think you're better than me? Yeah, I am at this game.
I am.
And it's not. It ain't really about being better. It's just the sense of accomplishment. And what the dude was saying is that just because they put an easy mode in it doesn't mean that it's going to entice the hardcore gamers to play that way because that's not what they enjoy. And I get that argument, but it's just like the bottom line is it's not for you. I'm sorry.
No, I think your movie analogy is very well done. I watched all of Nightmare on Elm Street, but anytime Freddy came on the screen, I left the room until he was gone. But I watched that whole movie. Did you? Did you? Anyhow, look, some things aren't for everyone. I mean, anyhow, was that all you had?
Yeah, pretty much. As far as fucketry goes, I probably saw some other shit, but like I said, a lot of this shit been rolling off. It don't matter.
Thank you, Darkshade. I bought the football and gear, so I expect to be able to play in the Super Bowl. Yeah, they just need an easy mode so you can play in the Super Bowl. Scribe, you see any fucketry today?
Yeah, I wanted to mention Pat's white privilege.
Uh-oh, Pat and his white privilege.
Did you see that?
No.
So I don't have it in front of me, but Pat put a post out where he was like, I did all this stuff on my own.
Yep.
Nobody handed me shit, and I'm doing great. And then some guy comes along and says, yeah, but what about all the other black people who don't have the opportunities you did? You probably had some white person in your family or around you who like helped you or manipulated things in your favor.
Yeah, I'm going to throw his tweet up on screen. This is the one that I know people have been disagreeing with it, but I hadn't seen that he had white privilege over it. Yeah, what he said.
You saw how much traction that fucking post had?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a 40-year-old black man.
I was like, holy shit.
I'm well educated, graduated high school in 96, joined the Army 95 to 03, honorable discharge, no police record, went to college, became a chef, father of 3, and living a wonderful life. Why? I was given the same opportunities as whites, and I took them. Frosted Glass, thank you. Some things aren't for everything, just like the vote. Yes. Holy shit, he's got 38,000 likes on that tweet.
I know. That's what I was like, holy fuck.
Get him, Pat.
My response to that was I thought it was appropriate because the person was just like after he said what you just said, he said my response was, oh, so you believe that black people are so incapable that there was no way that they could accomplish this without a white person's help. And then I said reason number, and I just typed a whole bunch of numbers because at this point I've lost count. Or example number, I should say, of a person who is morally superior and protecting people of color, treating them like they just can't do anything without anybody's help, like erasing their accomplishments. Like, yeah, you did that, but there's no way a Negro like you could have done that by yourself. By the way, I'm here to protect you. I got your back. But I know you're not capable of accomplishing anything unless you had somebody like me helping you.
Pat, I don't know if you know this, but if you scroll through the answers on this, a lot of white girls liking you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about the white girls. Anyhow, so, well, I got to be honest, man. It's not unusual for people to think the only way blacks can make it in America is if white people help them. I mean, isn't that the whole idea behind affirmative action?
Oh boy.
Oops. Are we not supposed to acknowledge that?
Nah, man, that's not real. No.
Now I know he'd been getting some shit for it, but I haven't seen much of it. Only I had to have some white guy help him out, huh? Pat, I love me some white girls. You got your choice, man. There's a bunch of them in there. Be careful, man. There's some catfishing going on, though. You know all those girls don't look like that.
Yeah, you don't want to add no more kids.
And did you have anything else there, Scribbles?
There was one other thing. Let me find it real quick. So we talked briefly yesterday about that video I sent to Satsu with the couple talking about their future children.
Mm-hmm.
So I left a comment on that video talking about how after watching the video, this was my comment. I said, why not just teach them that skin color is a functional irrelevancy? It says nothing about who a person is any more than hair color or eye color. There are people in the world that value it otherwise, of course, but the goal, I hope, is to reach a point where we are not assessing people on how black or how white they are, as though that actually means something. And I also said, because I wanted to make sure they didn't try to this one on me, I said, and for preemptive clarification, I'm not saying that your respective heritage/culture is a functional irrelevancy, only the skin color concerns. The people actually made the video responded separately, but this is the one that got me. Somebody else responded, that's the goal, sure, but in the current world, skin color absolutely has real-world implications for people of color. Saying it's irrelevant is literally white privilege because only white people can say something like that and mean it.
Yeah,
Pat. And I said, so only white people have the ability to sincerely not use skin color as a value judgment of other people? I cannot say I have ever heard that one before.
You should have linked him Pat's tweet.
But I mean, it was just, I was like, wait a second. I want to repeat that. Saying skin color is irrelevant is literally white privilege because only white people can say something like that and mean it. Only white people can be not racist is what this person is saying, which is just, which I completely disagree with, obviously, but it was just amazing that was what they were trying. I don't know what they were trying to say, but that's what they said.
Well, I mean, once again, I mean, that basically translates to everybody who's not your shade is a monolith. We all think the same. It is impossible for anybody to step outside of the hive. So there's no way. And I'm just like, but you don't like stereotypes.
Right.
You don't like monoliths.
Exactly.
We're all different and diverse unless it's convenient for us not to be. And then we're not. I fucking hate those people.
But that was it. That's all I had.
Okay. I only have a couple, and then we have to move on to a deep topic. This is in response to a woman who was talking about how she was just putting on her laziest outfit ever, and she was putting on yoga pants. This guy wrote, leggings are low class. No one wants to be able to discern your genital grooming habits through your pants. Sir, speak for yourself.
Exactly. I'll take Lululemon or whatever any day.
Look, I like me some camel toe. You call it low class. I call it art. So stop it. And leggings are sexy because one, I'll ever bang a chick who was wearing leggings. You can get your hand in there to finger her so fast. It's like, it's like it was made for it.
You ever peeled off a pair of like leggings off of a nice girl's butt?
Yeah.
You know, and just have them it's kind of framed, like the fabric, the color of the fabric is now framed and almost, and especially the elastic then lifts it up just a little bit.
Yeah. So that dude, I mean, I'm not saying he's gay. I think he might be gay. Mr. Monopoly says camel toe is a turnoff for me. You don't like vagina? That's what a camel toe is. You know that, right? That's vagina.
I think he might be referring to how it looks. Like I know some people.
But it's vagina.
Well, I know, but like I don't know.
But
not all camel toes are created equal. Let's put it that way.
Well, sure. I mean, if there's some bat wings going down to her knees, that would be, I guess, would make me go, ooh. But all right. And, you know, Sean, I heard that a lot. He said lots of fat bitches wear yoga pants. So they got vaginas too. The other one, this is actually a news story. I should have thrown it in MSS News, but I wanted to address it separately. Substitute teacher who admitted sex with boys gets no jail time.
Of course.
What a shock.
This 34-year-old had sex with a 15 and 16-year-old. Oh, no, sorry, 3 15 and 16-year-olds. Her attorney, the attorney for her said her client was pleased with the outcome. Can you believe that? Her rapist client gets off with no jail time, and she's okay with it. I was shocked when I read that part.
Amazing, but true.
You know, I've never seen one of these. With a sincere rape culture hashtag. I mean, Brock Turner, that was everything. Oh, it's rape culture. But we've seen woman after woman after woman having sex with children and getting off with no jail. By the way, this same girl was having inappropriate discussions with a 12-year-old boy on social media. No jail time, y'all. 34-year-old woman hitting on a 12-year-old boy who she knew was 12. No jail time.
You know, we need a To Catch a Predator female edition.
Oh God, yes.
I always wondered, and I never watched when it was out. I never watched that show, so all I see now are like the compilations of like the greatest hits, so to speak. Did they ever go after female predators in that show?
I'm not sure. I never watched it when it was live. But like you, I've watched the compilations since.
Sure.
But they should. I mean, go hang out in high schools, find female teachers, and just bring Chris Hansen in. They have a seat. Yeah. Bitch, let's see. What did she end up with? She gets 2 years of unsupervised probation and a $900 fine.
Oh, Jesus. Talk about slap on the wrist.
$900 to bang a couple or 3 young boys. That's 300 boys or $300 per boy. I wonder if they get a cut of that. Probably not. Now we have to talk about Borderlands 3.
Oh boy, I saw this. I'm not even a Borderlands fan yet, but I saw that and I thought, oh, that's going to piss some people off.
It did, man. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Borderlands 3 is launching on September 13th. Yay! But on PC, it is exclusive to the Epic Store for 6 months. And this has sent a lot of people Having a fit. I don't care that it's on the Epic Store, to be honest with you. And I know that there's going to be some people in the audience who are mad about that, but monkey, it's the Epic Store. I don't care. My problem is good. My problem is they usually give you some bonus for owning the other games, and I don't know how they're going to know I own the other games. That bothers me.
I hear because they're doing it on the Epic Store, they will have access to crossplay, which I thought was fucking awesome. I'm just like,
that's cool,
dude. That would be cool as fuck. Like, I don't know much about the Epic Store. Like, I mean, I have the Epic Store because I have Fortnite because I played it once.
Me too. That's why I have it. I played it one time and it's like, yeah, fuck this game.
Yeah, so it's not really. I don't really care about the whole Steam versus Epic Store thing. I don't know. It just doesn't bother me because it's like it's still going to be on my computer and I'm still going to be playing it. And Steam fucking infuriates me. So whatever. But I'm like crossplay. I like the sound of that. So I don't know. I don't really get the. Well, I mean, I guess I understand the controversy. Like some people are upset because of what's been said about the Epic Store, but it's just like, you know how many people have Fortnite? Like that game is probably the most downloaded game in the world right now, and all those people need the Epic Store to get to it. So I mean, it's not like they're selling themselves short by not having access to it or something, or not having access to Steam. Plus, it's coming out on Steam in 6 months. So I mean.
Yeah, it'll be on Steam in 6 months in April of 2020. I will probably pick it up my problem right now is that I have the Epic Store. I have Ubisoft's thing. I have Origin. I have Steam. There's too many damn platforms. I don't care because they're all free. It's just, God damn it, I don't want to open another platform and play a game. Just put it all on Steam. That's where I like to be. Because it's all in one little list for me. But yeah, I don't care that it's going to be on the Epic Store. But they are review bombing the shit out of all of the games on Steam. If you go over to Steam right now and check out Borderlands 2, there are just a whole bunch of fucking whiny bitches. Fuck Epic. Like, well, you're not hurting Epic by putting that on Steam Store, you idiot.
Yeah, and you review bombing it ain't gonna stop the people who want to play it from getting it.
Well, I saw one guy, his comment was, for all of you who are saying we shouldn't be review bombing this game, companies listen when you do this. Like, really? Name me the company that has released an Epic exclusive who changed their mind because you review bombed something on Steam.
Yeah. The only people who listen to that shit are the games journalists that like to slander us and call us fucking man babies.
Yep.
And y'all are not doing a good job disproving it.
Peter says, I've never heard of the Epic Store. I don't buy games online. I like having actual discs. I like having actual discs too, but it's become increasingly hard to do that where I live. It's hard to find them. So yeah, I've switched to digital.
Yeah, I usually get digital games or physical copies for my PlayStation. Like my PS4, all of my games are physical except for the VR ones. Like I don't buy physical VR games because that adds another element to like swapping them out and shit. I'm just like, if I'm gonna get a VR game, it's gonna be digital, so I can just change the game. I don't want to have to take the fucking headset off and do all this bullshit.
My computer doesn't even have a drive for discs anymore. It's one of those gaming computers.
Yep.
So I have to go totally digital. So there you go.
Yeah, when I built this computer, I put one in, and you can get a drive so cheap these days because they're not in anything. I think my drive cost me $15. But yeah, most of the ones you buy off the shelf these days don't even have a disk drive in them. It's to save money on building it. But yeah, there's a lot of people pissed off about the Epic Store thing, and I read something today. When somebody sells a game on Steam takes 30% of the sale. When somebody sells something on Epic, they take 12%.
Oh.
Where would you sell? I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, if I was a game company, like, wait, you're only going to take 12 while they take 30? Yeah, I'll sign up with you guys. Now, the question is going to be whether or not the backlash from this actually translates to less sales when the game launches in September.
I doubt it.
It's launching across all 3 platforms. So it's going to be on the PS4, the Xbox One, and PC. So, I mean, I hate to tell you, PC players, we are in the minority. We really are when it comes to games. If you want to make a game that sells a lot of copies, you want it made for a console. That's just fact. So you throw your little fit. Don't buy the game until April. That's entirely up to you. I will not be joining your crusade. I will probably get it as long as what we've seen so far is we haven't seen much of the gameplay. I'm not ordering it now. It's open for pre-order now. The special edition sold out in like less than an hour. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's a little bit far out for me to pre-order. We'll see what happens. But I will be buying. I'll be going through the Epic Store. I don't care.
Hey, Monkey, what do you think about doing the remastered Borderlands 1 after we finish with Sniper Elite?
That would be cool because they gave it to us for free, man.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. If you guys have the original Borderlands, they updated it for you for free to the Game of the Year edition. Ragnak, thank you. The review bombs on Steam push them from Steam because Epic doesn't have a game review option, and publishers want way more control over that as well. I could see that.
Yeah. There's 2 words that could almost completely ruin my excitement for this game as a whole, and that's loot crates.
Yeah, but
that'll ruin everything for me. It's a looter shooter. You get guns from enemies. If they add loot crates, that could ruin it for me.
I don't see them doing that. They might. I mean, I see them sticking with the gold key thing, which is where they've made their money. So, I mean, they've been supporting Borderlands 2 for what, 6-7 years now, still with those fucking golden keys. Yeah. I read a thing the other day that even today, Borderlands 2 is one of the most played games consistently on Steam. It's at any given time, there's no less than 5,000 people playing it. That's amazing for a game that old. Why am I complaining? Why am I complaining I never got into Borderlands franchise? I don't know. What were you going to say?
Mata says that there are already loot crates in 2. They don't have loot crates, like paid loot crates, because I don't think I've seen them. I mean, there are crates that you open that you get like random stuff out of, but I mean, a actual 99 cents for this, or up to $99 for this bundle, and you'll have a chance to get that type of shit is what I'm talking about. There are crates all throughout the game that you open, just period. But if you can start the game, walk up to go to some menu and just spend $100 to get all the guns in the game, that's gonna annoy me.
Yeah, I don't care that it's on Epic. Yeah, I'm with you. I hope they don't do loot crates, but if they do, fuck it. It doesn't hurt me as long as it's not something that I'm forced into. I'm fine as long as you can still find everything in the game. I'm cool with it. I just won't use their loot crates. Fuck them. I don't want anything to be exclusive to loot crates because fuck that.
Yeah. That's more of the shit that I'm worried about is exclusivity or they make gun drop rates so fucking impossible that you basically have to pay if you want to get it. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit.
Well, I don't worry about that because my ability to get special guns is a lot better than yours.
Yeah, fucking dude, I have been playing Borderlands so fucking long, like years. Longer than Monkey, and he's just this first playthrough. Oh, I just got this gun. What does this gun do? I'm like, you mean that legendary fucking weapon that I've never seen drop over playing this game on 3 separate consoles for like 4 years? Yeah, that's cool. Lucky you. You got that fucking gun.
What's that? What's that one?
The conference call.
The conference call. Yeah. Didn't you say you never saw it dropping?
Never, ever, not once. The only conference call I've ever had was given to me by somebody who I played with because they got to drop. But I have never, ever seen it drop after almost fucking 900 hours of that game.
I've been playing like, what, 2-3 months, and I've already seen it 3 times.
Jesus fuck.
So just hang with me, and I'll get you the good gun, Satsu. Guys, it's your turn. Questions, comments, concerns. What do you think of the Epic Store? You're probably wrong, and I'll tell you why. But throw your comments into the chat now. We'll do our best to answer them. Backscan says, I still wonder why console companies haven't started putting out internal hardware so PC gamers could play console games when they make money and bypass the need to port them. One, there's a lot of it's not just a drive. You'd have to have the video cards that they're using. All of that stuff goes together. A console is basically a computer, but every one of those computers is built the same. Where your PCs depends on what company, whether you put it together yourself. So if they were going to do that, it's just the console, and they make far more off of that. There's very few games that do better on PC than they do anywhere else. I know I'm for the USPS. I like the job and I can be lazy and not get fired and get a great pension, but I'm anti-government companies and believe they are theft. What should I do?
I'm confused.
He works for a federal job, but thinks the federal government itself is basically theft.
Wait 4 years.
Just drink a lot. You'll be fine. I don't know, man. How opposed are you? Which do you hate more, government theft or starving? I mean, you got a good job.
Job security, for gosh sakes.
Good job security, a good pension. Fuck it. I mean, I've always said you can be against stuff and still use it until it's gone. Is Lisa Simpson becoming AOC due to her stupid writers having an ideology? Maybe. But AOC is not, she's not a lesbian, polyamorous chick. She got a man. Haven't you seen her man? He has a striking resemblance to the man who married Tess Holliday. I'm hearing their refund policy is all talk and that your information is sold to China. Talking about Epic. Look, I've heard all kinds of stuff about information. Like they look into your computer. There's nothing on my computer they can look into. It's not just Epic. Who was it? Who makes Civ 6? Who makes Civ? The people who make that just came out with a new privacy policy, and one person read through the whole thing and told everybody it can go into your computer and look at everything. And maybe it can. I don't care. If they want to sell my name to the Chinese, more power to them. I don't give a fuck. Do you guys worry about? I know Scribe, you're kind of a privacy guy on the computer. Does that include like if a game company was able to look into your computer?
Look into it for what?
I have no idea.
Just like specs or something? I probably wouldn't give a shit.
Look at your Facebook.
No, I wouldn't want a game company looking at my private personal stuff. No.
Dude.
Yeah. Satsu.
If you use Facebook in general, they share your information with the planet anyway.
That's
dude,
true.
I literally was talking to somebody, like just in passing, about this is random as fuck, but we were talking about food. I typed in potato pillar on Facebook, just in a comment, and now that's all I see is commercials everywhere on every website I go to. Mm-hmm. Potato pillars, and I'm just like, I just made a statement to somebody on Facebook in a comment section, and now every website I go to is just like, oh, you like potato pillars? I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's like, how much do they think I like potato? No, I've done that. Like if I bought something on Amazon, that very thing, even though I've already bought it, shows up for ads for me everywhere.
Yep.
As for their refund policy, Snub, I don't know what their refund policy is. I know the one for Steam is 2 hours of playtime, and after that, it's yours. And if you wait more than 14 days to do that, then you're stuck with the game. I don't know what Epic's is. Scribe, have you cannibalized your old computer and rescued your old data?
No, not yet. I still haven't gotten around to buying that adapter for the drive because I don't have any other way to get the information off of there. So, but once I get around to, which I could just do, I mean, I just need to go on Amazon and buy the thing. It'd be a one-time use though, is the thing, because I don't have any other reason to use it again. But I'm still trying to think. Have I gotten to a point yet where I haven't been able to either retrieve or recreate anything that was on there? And so far, I've been okay. So it's like, do I spend $50 to get something that I might not need, or do I not? That's kind of where I'm at. Laziness and trying to be use my ingenuity to just rebuild the bits and pieces of my YouTube stuff that I left behind on that machine.
Quinn the Angry says it's my birthday. Sing time. Well, Quinn, obviously you know what we do around here, and since it's your birthday, we're gonna do it for you. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
I got Chex Mix.
Happy birthday, dear Quinn.
Be angry. Happy
birthday to you.
Man, I started to do it in my growly voice and fucked my throat up already. Man, happy birthday, Quinn. I hope you had a great one. Monkey Scribe, Satsu, did you guys watch that epic speech by Senator Mike Lee? If not, you really should. It's amazing. Yeah, that's the one where he did the Aquaman thing.
I didn't watch it. I saw pictures.
Yeah, I just saw screenshots. I didn't see the thing.
I watched it. He did a very good job of doing it all straight-faced. He played it entirely straight, which was kind of funny. But more humorous to me was AOC comparing how much it must have cost to make those, what was it, 4 different pictures he used, to the cost of changing everything about our environmental policy. Thank you, Ragnak. Have y'all seen the video where they talk out loud about gold toilet paper stands that has wireless charging support within 15 minutes? They're getting ads for it. Oh, I have not.
Oh, I did see something like that. Yeah, it's a smart toilet or something like that, and it like when you sit down, it like sets the mood lighting, and it has Wi-Fi, right, and you can connect like your phone to it and play me. I'm just like, how long? Well, I was gonna ask that question, like, oh, how fucking long? But then again, I've been like on my phone and was in the bathroom for like an hour for no fucking reason.
On Monkey in the Morning, they've tried to convince me to get one of those smart Japanese toilets. Have you guys seen these things? It's like a bidet, but computerized. And I look, I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. Give me porcelain, give me toilet paper, give me a little flush handle, and I'm good. I don't need my toilet to be smarter than me.
Hey, do you know how an Australian cleans his ass in luxury?
Oh God.
Bidet, mate.
Shit. Cryptic, there's a joke for you to tell someone else. Lords of the Night, who do you think really shot Mr. Burns? It was Maggie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Cryptic, thank you. EA Origin did it first. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate Origin too. My problem with Origin is with all of the money behind EA and all of the products they sell, they don't put very many of them up on Origin. Should we just end The Simpsons? When people are done watching it, sure. I don't watch it very often, but I'm not here to tell anybody they should stop something. Midnight Next House says, wouldn't call AOC's man a man. Well, I mean, he got his girlfriend to get him $6,000 payments. That's not bad. Is AOC even...
And a government email.
And a government email, that's right. Is AOC even close to being as smart enough to be Lisa Simpson? No. Will China invade America without militaristic invasion? No. They don't want none of us. They've seen us. They're like, man, they're fat. We can't feed them. Monkey is the opposite of the conscientious consumer, fucking up the games industry for the rest of us. Thanks a lot, Monkey. Fuck you too. Look. I've lived through, let's see, how old am I? I'm going to be 44 this month. And I have lived through every, oh my God, look what the gaming industry is doing now. Bullshit that has ever come along. And 99% of it is just people freaking out for no fucking reason.
Yeah, if you remember when Steam first came out, everybody hated it. Like people were losing their shit about how terrible Steam was. So, I mean,
the very people that right now are pissed off because this game is not going to be released on Steam were pissed off because Steam was even a thing. So, yeah, eat. They can all eat me, not you.
And I never, except for the Fallout 76, which was a mistake in the making, I don't buy AAA first off anyway. If 6 months go by and it's on Steam and all the fixes have come out and some of the expansions or DLC, you might as well just wait. You'll get a better deal in the long run. And if it's a good game, hey, what does Borderlands 2 tell you? It'll be a good game 7 years from now.
Right. This is one I will probably buy beforehand. One, just the company is a pretty decent track record. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, didn't quite do it for me, but that was more some of the gameplay mechanics they tried to add in there. The story was good, and some of the gameplay was good. The guns were still great, but yeah, but it'll depend on what we see as we're getting closer. I would never buy it this far out. I made that mistake with Fallout.
Pyra said, but Steam got better though. Yeah, but it had to get better. Like people had to use it, and they had to learn from their mistakes. Well, from what the way it started, if I heard it, it's gotten better.
Well, I was there. I'm gonna ask again. Did it?
I don't know.
It's not much different. I mean, the difference is they added an offline mode, because that was the big problem. Was that when Half-Life 2 came out, you had to have an internet connection actively running while you were playing it. There's still games on there like that, but for the most part, you don't have to do that for all the games. I still play Master of Orion 2 from 1995. Your thoughts? Look, man, there's a lot of old games that if I hadn't have found new things, I'd still be playing. I still play the SimCity 4. When did that come out? God, that was a long time ago. I'm of the opinion if you find a game you like, stick with it.
Shit, I still love Sim Theme Park. That's probably my favorite Sim game, and that game's old as fuck.
Sim Theme Park was great, man.
I loved that fucking game, man. That was my shit.
Yeah,
it was like a Roller Coaster Tycoon for idiots, and I was like, yay!
Roller Coaster Tycoon, I also love. SimCity 4 came out in 2003. So, yeah, as long as you're having fun with it. Is there anything you think needs to be an end game? For example, in my opinion, Cap needs to say "Avengers Assemble." Oh, that's a good question. Anything you guys think should be in there?
It's time for someone to say "Avengers Assemble," especially if this is like the big final fight kind of thing.
It's gonna
other
be
than that, I'm hoping I'm hoping for two things in particular. One, some side Easter egg where a couple of 4 people in a little experimental rocket ship get hit by cosmic rays. And something that will open the gates for mutants.
Those are both coming. Those are really good answers. That would be great. Yeah, if like they're fighting Thanos in space and 4 people get hit by some cosmic rays, that would set up. We're not going to tell you guys. We don't want to spoil anything. No, that would be awesome, dude. I want to hug you right now, not cuddle, just a hug.
Oh, no, I always thought that what they should do is to modernize it a little bit. Have first off, you have to have them be younger actors. I don't want full-grown adults. That was kind of the point of the Fantastic Four. They were mostly kids. They're just college students. And the other thing too is that the perfect setup is they're doing a SpaceX project, right? They're doing a competition for like a manned civilian spacecraft. And, you know, the people who are funding it won't let them test it out. So they break onto the project site. They take it up in order to test it out, and they get by the cosmic rays. It fit in perfectly with modern technology, and they just haven't done it yet. So I guess we'll see.
Anything I think needs to be in there. I think they need to save everybody except for that pathetic Spider-Man. I think that he should just end up in a glass of red and blue dust. Otherwise, no. It needs to just have an epic battle in it, and I don't mean like the battle at the end of Black Panther, which was just kind of gay. I mean, there needs to be an epic fight in this one. And not even the Civil War one, man, I was not happy with. It was just too much trying to be, go on at once. Just give me a couple of them fighting the bad guy. That's all I need. Did you watch the Hugh video?
Oh, are you talking about the one that you sent me over on Discord? Yeah, I checked it out. That song is pretty catchy.
That might be one he sent to me as well. Look, guys, several of you have sent me video. Let me just answer this for everybody. If you've sent me anything in the last, say, 72 hours, I have not watched it yet. What did Lord of the Night do for unbirthdays? We go about our business.
We sing happy birthday backward. No, we don't.
No, we don't. We
just
go about our business.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Elon Musk be Dr. Doom, says Ragnarok. Is that what you're suggesting there, Scribbles?
No. Dr. Doom needs to be Dr. Doom, monarch of Latveria, who went to college with Reed Richards, but doesn't have powers by himself. Dr. Doom needs to have a suit that is not Iron Man, and he needs to have supernatural cult abilities a la Doctor Strange. That's how you can bridge Dr. Doom into being an enemy of so many people, not only the Fantastic Four, but also Tony Stark or whoever inherits his throne or whatever, and Doctor Strange. Dr. Doom is one of the most perfect villains in so many ways, and I really hope that if they bring him into the MCU, they finally do him right, because his previous incarnations on film have left a lot to be asked for.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to bring him into the MCU, and it's going to be because he finds an old Iron Man suit. I'm just telling you. Man, hey, they brought Spider-Man in, and he's only Spider-Man because of the Iron Man suit. Blind Press says, hey, chat, could you all help a girl out? I'm about to break 400 subs. Could a few of you run over and sub to me to help me break 400? Yeah, if you guys don't watch her, check her out. She does good stuff, man. And she is a Star Trek nerd. If you like Star Trek, also, go watch her talk about it, man. It's awesome.
I'm almost up to 200 subs for a fam 2 cents. So, yeah, go check that out.
Did you guys see that the Russo brothers put out a tweet confirming that Ant-Man wasn't going to go up Thanos' butt? I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
He could have won if he did.
I think we kind of already knew that, just but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody at Marvel decides to produce that as some kind of like Easter egg on the DVD or something.
Yeah, it'd be great if it's the after credit clip. Pincalo says, "Who shot JR?" Oh God, I don't remember. I remember my family was gathered around the TV to watch. Mom was a huge Dallas fan. Lords of Night, have you seen the Japanese toilet where the back of the toilet is a sink that fills the bowl with the water you use to wash your hands? Wait, what? How? So you wash your hands before you go? I'm confused. I have not seen those. Why is Google selling our secrets to China?
Money.
China has the money. Monkey, I'm eating brownie cookie dough ice cream. Jealous? I would be if I didn't have a. It's not exactly a flurry, but you guys know what a flurry is at McDonald's.
Yeah.
We have a Dairy Queen around here that makes those, and I had that tonight after dinner. It was amazing. Amazing. Why is Alyssa Milano boycotting Georgia? Because of their abortion law. They have an abortion law right now that as long as it stays on the books, I can't remember if it's 16 or 20 weeks, but abortion is illegal after that. And Alyssa thinks that that's wrong. That's oppressing the women's. That's forcing women to be pregnant. Her words, not mine. And because I seriously think she's gearing up to run for office here soon.
Ooh, what would she run for, do you think?
I think she'd run for the House. I think that's what she's pushing for. She might be looking at a Senate seat. I mean, she lives in California, so it'll depend on who retires, what she would be going for, or whether or not she thinks she can knock somebody out who's not, liberal enough. But unless she moves, it'd be one probably a representative seat. What else we got here, guys? Monkey Gearbox, who makes Borderlands, made Alien Colonial Marines.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, one of the worst fucking games ever.
My God, I thought, goddamn, what was the game? Sleeping Dogs or what? No, not Sleeping Dogs. The Watch Dogs was like an egregious example of them presenting a game and then releasing it, and it was like absolutely nothing like what they showed. But that was on another level. Holy shit!
That's fine, but all they had to do with Borderlands is take the old system, put new artwork on it, and change some characters. Rewrite the script.
Well, you remember that article said that that's a bad thing. Adding new stuff to an already beloved formula is a stupid idea. There's no excuse to continue a story just for the sake of continuing the story.
Yes, don't make a game that's the same as before.
Yeah.
Random says, yes, Steam got better. It's not crashing my computer now. Your computer now compared to then is probably a lot different, dude. Did Steam get better or did your computer? Let's see. Pre-sequel was made by a different company. Yep, it was made by the Australian company.
Yeah, and that was kind of a weird transition for me. I ain't gonna lie.
But again, if you look at the game mechanics and everything, they still use the same base game. They just added floating when you're out in space, added the oxygen mechanic.
And the slam. But it was Borderlands.
Yeah. Is the Mueller report not going to be talked about? We talked about it a little bit earlier. In fact, it was the first story we talked about in the news cycle tonight.
Well, no, we talked about the kidnapped kid first, but yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about the kid that showed up that said he was the kidnapped kid from 2011. Then we talked about the Mueller report because it was breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't that before I asked about the news? I can't remember. All right, fine. Scribbles is right. I'm not being an ass here. I just know my memory is shit. So I'm going with Scribble's memory on this one. But yeah, we did talk about it. I mean, there's not much to talk about other than that they're fighting over it right now. And reportedly, a couple of people that were on the Mueller team came out and said that there's problem, or that they wished that Barr had released more. But these are unnamed sources. I've seen a lot of liberals out there today. This is only the second time the Mueller team has done this. Actually, no, it's not. The Mueller team has still only one time officially come out and denied press reports. This is not an official release like the last one was. This isn't the spokesman for Mueller's team. This is a couple of people who are speaking on the condition of anonymity. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Monkey, are you watching The Act? It's on Hulu. Every episode makes it tense and cringy. I'm not watching anything right now.
Yeah, it's I believe, if I remember correctly, it's a true story sort of drama about a woman and her daughter who ended up faking her having like cancer or disease or something for.
Oh yeah, I saw the commercials for that. Yeah,
I forget if it was for just attention or if she was a Munchausen by proxy. The mother, I forget.
Yeah, and the girl had to break out of it because her mom was like actually insane.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Chatmore asks, anybody play Age of Empires 3? I play 3 all the or Age of Empires. I play 3 all the time. I love the Age of Empires game. I played 1, 2, and 3.
I played Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, which was Age of Empires 2 Star Wars The Total Conversion.
Which was a good game too, absolutely. I love those games. Those are they're real-time strategy, which so is Command and Conquer, but they're completely different kind of game, and they're just so much fun. I like the ones where you got to have the little guys go out and chop wood. I don't know why I like making them chop wood.
Oh, you know, Warcraft 1 and 2, or you can get them on like GOG, I think, right now for super cheap. I love Warcraft 2.
I never played 1 and 2. Never got to play them.
I never played 1. It was so slow and yucky, but Warcraft 2 was great.
I can tell you 3 is a maze.
Yes, that is true.
Roller Coaster Tycoon was my favorite. I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon. I played the shit out of that game. And I think it was in 2 where you had the launch roller coasters. I killed so many park goers on those things. Are we going to see World Breaker Hulk in Endgame? Probably not.
No, I think you're going to see the Smart Hulk, the Professor Hulk, or like Hulk Banner or whatever. I think the outcome of them having this internal feud or whatever is going to be that they're going to have to merge personalities into the Smart Hulk that you saw sometimes in the comic books.
Couple minutes left. Chat just jumped, so I'm going to stay here at the bottom because there's a lot of questions down here. Best chocolate covered fruit. I actually like strawberries, and I didn't think I would, but I like chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries is good. Otherwise, I can't think of another fruit I would put chocolate on, honestly.
Strawberries or bananas?
Oh yeah, bananas are good too. Chocolate covered cherries I don't really count because there's so much of that gooey, thick shit in there. It's like eating a Cadbury egg with a fucking cherry inside.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking.
What's the best Sims game you've played? For me, it was City Skylines. Oh wow. Oh, you need better Sims in your life. Best Sim game, probably Sims 3. That game is so much fun.
It might have been. Wait, hold on. Was it 2? I think 2 was the one I played the most, but 3 was definitely better. But I played 2 probably more than any other Sims game.
Yeah, the Sims 3 just added so much, and you could do so much. If you're looking for an actual city builder, SimCity 4 is still better than. I like Skylines. I'm not shitting on Skylines. It's just without all of the DLC, Skylines is kind of a vanilla game. Scribbles, you a simmer at all?
No, I never really got. I never played any of the Sims games. I played SimCity 2000 back in the olden days.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, SimCity 2000 was great, but other than that, I haven't played any Sims games since like junior high. So
Yeah, I played all of SimCity games. I played Sim Ant. I played Sim Universe. I even played, what was the one that God, the one they had so much problems with people making porn of. Spore was actually based on Sims games, made by the same guy who made SimCity. And then they fucked it all around and upset their fans and started banning them for making spore porn. They called it sporn. Chat, thank you. The first time I launched people off a roller coaster in RCT, I was 9. I was traumatized for days and my parents laughed at me like crazy. That's fucked up. Thank you for the donation. Dude, the first time I did it, I was like, oh man. I was like, I wonder what else I can do. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. That brings us to the end of the broadcast. Sorry if I didn't get your questions, but you know what? You can ask them tomorrow over on Satsu 2 Senses channel, where we will be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I don't think we have anything to promo tonight, do we? No, we don't. So, guys, with that, thank you for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the donations. I am humbled by your generosity. Satsu Scribe, thank you guys so much for joining me. Everybody, your lives make us sad, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.